You are now listening to the Baseball Aficionado. Welcome. Once again, I'm your host, Santos, the Baseball Aficionado, back once again. And it's been a little while, but I had to get back at this. But before you do anything, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a like, comment, subscribe. It helps us grow. I love the interaction. Make sure to follow me on social media. And of course, also got to let you guys know something as well. As I mentioned on the last episode, uh, we have merch now. So make sure you check out the merch at Baseball Aficionado, which is bbaficionado.com. You get 10% off of your first purchase. We have tees, we have hats, sweatshirts, all kinds of things. Latino baseball meets streetwear. You guys will love it. You get 10% when you subscribe to the mailing list. And without further ado, I want to welcome back to the show Willy Baez, who's going to join me. We're going to talk a little bit about some things going on. It's too soon to do a season preview, which is coming soon. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the spring training things that are about to go on, the recent 100 list of top 100 baseball players per MLB Network, the Latino edition. We're going to talk about the Latino players, Nolan Arenado. We're going to talk about Marcus Stroman and a couple other things along the way. So we're going to talk about all that and more. But without further ado, I want to welcome back to the show my guy from Bodega Sports, Willy Baez.
What's going on, Santos?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Taking it easy, man, as always. And you?
Taking it easy. Yeah, okay.
I have to.
If
I
work
have to.
if working means taking it easy, then I don't know. Then what is really taking it easy, right?
That is true. Santos, we got a
Dímelo.
couple topics before we get into the top 100 list that we have.
Yeah, of course, man. I told you, just for
You're
the
not
audience,
into it.
I'm not into it. No, because I feel like they're a trap. They make these. They know what they're doing. These things are meant to. Obviously, they're subjective, but they're meant to get conversations going and to bait people into certain things. They know what they're doing. Come on, this is not a real top 100. It's whatever. But go ahead.
It's not. It's not. At the end of the day, they got like on another list, they had like Bobby Witt, I think, as no, Gunnar Henderson as like the top three shortstop. And now he's like like number five on the whole list or number 10 on the whole list. It just didn't make sense to me.
They want him
Regardless,
to be there. Listen. They want him. They're pushing Gunnar Henderson hard, but
hard,
and he's a nice
hard,
young player. He's a nice young player, but like
nine war type of guy.
no, he is, but
Nine.
he if you watch the American League, especially the American League East, if you see him every day, that's why the numbers don't tell this whole story. If you watch him, that's
Mhm.
why WAR is a flawed stat. Like he's a great player, but he's not. He strikes out quite a bit. His batting average is up and down. His approach is, he has flaws.
Iffy.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
but
I
good
agree with
player,
you.
but
Not in the top 10 yet. At least not for
no,
me.
no, no. He could be one that I think he has a chance, but and I think he finishes at third base like from now to 5 years. I
You
think he
think so?
finishes at third. Yeah, he's a good shortstop, but bro, history, I told you this a lot of times, bro. People love the offensive shortstop. The offensive shortstop doesn't last that long. It's rare. You can count them on three fingers. The
Al
offensive
Ripken.
shortstops who have lasted 10 years. Give me the shortstop that have been there 10 years at short, offensive.
Not even A-Rod did it.
I mean, he could have, don't get me wrong, he could
Different
have.
circumstance. Yeah, I agree.
He's the
Yeah,
exception. He could
he's
have.
the
He was,
exception.
yeah, he was the best at that position. I get better shortstop than third baseman, which is
Ernie
odd.
Banks.
Déjame ver. Ernie Banks was there for
He
a
was there
long
for
time.
more than
Yeah,
10.
yeah. You're right. He was more than 10.
But you
Absolutely.
can
Yeah.
count them. You're right.
It's
Corey
rare. It's
Seager.
rare. Gary
Yeah,
Larkin was
Larry
there.
Larkin.
But those
Yeah, that
guys
is
don't
true.
last, bro. They don't last at that position. Look, and then the ones who do, they break down.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. At an
So
early age, too.
early age.
You're right. All right. You know what? Let's
Mhm.
start with something. You know what? I just kind of picked all of your reels and was like, you know what? I'm going to make this a topic.
Dale,
The
dale.
number one, why haven't the Cardinals traded Arenado yet? What's going on?
Bueno, it's interesting. I think, as you know, the front offices have moved away from players who are 31, 32 years old.
Mhm.
He showed some regression last year. I watched a lot of Cardinals games, and believe me, it was not fun. And with the MLB package and stuff, they were a horrible team to watch. You know, but he's lost a step offensively and defensively, but he's still 80% defensively.
What he used to
What
be.
he was. So he has value, but to pay for that, I believe it is. I even said on that reel how much was left. I think it's 32
52
million
million.
dollars, 50, 52,
52.
52 million left over 2 or 3 seasons. So
Yeah.
for a lot of teams, that's a lot to withstand, and that would put the Yankees over the budget. So
Yeah.
I think just a lot of teams don't have the appetite for it. Cardinals are gonna have to go down on their demands or eat some of that money.
I think they gotta eat half of it at least. Basically a 1 year rental for any team that wants him. I can't even
No,
put a big market team that wants him right now.
no, fíjate, I think, and especially this late into the offseason. I mean, the season's
Mhm.
gonna start in another month and a half or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, I think maybe even if they ate a third, not even a half, maybe a third, a fourth of it, you know, um,
Hmm.
and added in maybe you know, they would have to throw in a prospect or not them, whoever acquires him would throw in, sweeten the pot a little bit,
Yeah.
because St. Louis, a lot of things, a lot of people don't realize that St. Louis, if you notice, they're not spending the way they did either. They're pulling
Impossible.
back. They're pulling
Hmm.
back. I think they're hurting a little bit with the way baseball is now. So, um, they're not going to be
No,
big spenders.
here's what I think it is. Baseball is divided into two: big spenders and the guys that don't spend money.
Hmm.
There was a time in the 2000s where everybody was spending, you know, and the at the late 90s also people were spending a lot of money. And then the 2010s, same thing. Texas, even the Rays were giving money to Evan Longoria. And then it came to a point around, mid 2010s where, the Rockies said, you know what? We're not going to spend. Tampa said they're not going to spend. And they made big runs still. Even Tampa Bay went to the World Series in 2020. So I think that they saw success within it. And people like the
Right.
Pirates, and well, the Pirates never spent money. That's a reality. But just they're
Right.
like
Right.
hiding behind that
It's
that we can
justifying
still
more
make, yeah,
justification.
yeah, justification that they can actually make it with a bad team, and they've seen it before, and people get sold on it. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for Marlins, Pirates,
Mm.
Tampa Bay. I don't know who else, but even the Rockies, which were fun in the Tulowitzki area. They had some areas that were pretty nice. So I don't know.
Well, the Rockies were always if you remember though, even before they didn't go crazy, you know,
Hmm.
spending over the bank, but they, to break the bank, but they used to always have a really good farm system, especially
They did.
offensively. They always had good position players, always. That they always had. Pitching was suspect because it's hard
Always,
to pitch
it's
there.
tough. It's tough to keep them. It's
But
tough to
but
keep
they
them.
always had position players up and down the lineup, and they would, they'd get the little, whatever, $5-10 million little acquisitions to fill in, and it would
Hmm.
work. Now they don't
Yeah.
even want to do that. So
And they had terrible luck. Nevertheless, I got you another one. Anthony Rendon, worst contract of all time.
I have to really dig into it because I've thought about it the past couple of days. Obviously, on one of the reels I did, I talked about it because I felt like a lot of people, and maybe it's only here on the East Coast where everybody wants, Javier Baez's head on a platter. I don't feel like Rendon gets as much venom
Yeah.
um as Baez. I feel like Baez has become a poster child for the bad contracts. And let's be clear, that contract is a zero, not a bad contract. Baez's contract is a zero. Okay, I gotta be objective.
Yeah.
But when you look at Rendon's contract is Javier Baez's contract on steroids because he hasn't played more than 58 games.
Yeah.
He's he never had a single. He didn't have injuries really with Washington, and he stole money. This is stole like for the contract he's getting.
Yeah.
Like nobody even today gets 200 and something million for 7 years. Nobody's getting that type of contract now. It's either like you mentioned, the teams that spend crazy money like the Juan Sotos or the little minimal contracts. You don't get those big contracts like that anymore. So it's up there. I think
The-
it's to me, I think it is. It's up there.
biased. I'm biased towards it, but Jacoby Ellsbury comes to mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
But
that one
yeah.
was atrocious. Yeah, I
Bad.
just looked it up
Bad.
right now because I forgot the number figure, but it was big. I mean, and this is
What
not
was it like
up
119? What was it 119 or or was it 180 something? I'm
one
trying to remember.
180 something. 180
Ay,
something for
Dios mío.
7 years or six
Oh my
years. Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Qué
That was bad.
robo.
Yeah,
That's up
it's
there.
bad. It's bad.
That's
And
up there.
then
Yep.
looking at another one, Chris Davis, 7 years, $161 million.
That's there too. Those
Yeah,
are,
I mean,
fíjate, eso están en el top five. Para mí que sí.
people don't talk about it very much, and we'll bring up a heavy bias, Anthony
Yeah,
Rendon all
he's
the
there.
time,
He's
but
there. Yeah.
yeah, but come on, man, those two, I mean, those have to be like when you're putting in three figures, and don't get me wrong, Anthony Rendon's contract is huge, it's humongous
Huge.
for his production. But at that time, they weren't giving this type of money to anybody. And Ellsbury
No.
played maybe 2 years. In terms of all those 6 or 7 years that he got on a contract, he played maybe 2 years, maybe 300 games. And I'm putting it like maybe, maybe he did. So
Right.
I
Right.
don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was bad. I mean, it's funny. So I wish I had known you back then.
Yeah.
I called it back then that it was gonna be a bad contract because I was, and obviously with the Cano stuff didn't come out. I was mad that they didn't sign Cano.
Oh, me
I
too.
thought that I thought
Everybody.
they made a mistake. Yeah, because now we don't know what the Yankees knew or did not know. I'm not saying
Mhm.
that he was what, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, as it would turn out, he wasn't the same. But
Mhm.
you know, who knows?
It,
But
it's funny because he got, in my opinion, maybe the best signing before the Cano contract. He had another contract with the Yankees, which was basically like a rookie extension. You would call it
right, extension. Yep, I
like an
remember.
arbitration
Sí, yo me
extension.
acuerdo.
And it was like for those years that he gave us, two Gold Gloves, so many Silver
All
Sluggers,
stars.
and
Yep.
everything, All Stars. That might be one of the best contracts that anybody has gotten. But he
Yeah.
followed it up with maybe one of the worst contracts by a Latino player.
But
I'll
yeah,
make a
because he
list
gave
of
it.
the best. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because for the production you got, for the value, right?
For
The
so
dollar
little money
value,
that we gave him.
it was
Yeah.
great value, great value. And I think out of all the this we could talk about the steroid guys one, sometime. Um,
Yeah.
Not the Barry Bonds and those guys. That's not it. To me, that's not interesting because those guys
No,
we
no, no.
know already. But I'm talking about like those guys who like a little bit after, like the
Mhm.
Canos, those guys like that. Who to me that was the one that bothered me the most because that I was a big fan. You know how much I love like two-way players. So like
Yeah.
that bothered me because I was like to me, and I don't care. This is controversial, guys. Listen to this. What
Mhm.
I'm about to say. This is a clip right here. To me, for my money, day in and day out, not including postseason. Postseason, clutch part, Altuve. You give me 162 day in and day out. I take Cano every day and twice on Sunday. That's me. Cano's a better second baseman than Altuve ever was. Period. I don't care. Come at me. I don't care.
Clip him.
Clip it.
Eh,
Yeah. Altuve was never you crazy con esa elegancia jugando esa posición. Están loco.
no, no,
Mm-mm.
no. He
Nope.
was
Sorry.
he was I like the term Rico Suave, bro.
He was
He was
yo.
so fucking good.
He was smooth, bro. He was
He was
smooth. He had great hands. And he didn't.
and
He
he
wasn't
played.
fast. He was
I'll say
slow.
this:
But
he played the position with grace.
yes,
Damn,
yes,
so
yes,
nice.
yeah.
And
He
I don't know what
play.
happened.
There's guys who play like that. There's guys
Mhm.
who play like that, and you think that they're not trying. Is that for them? Everything is so easy.
It's so
Beltran
easy.
jugó. Beltran jugó así también. If you remember, people say,
Yeah.
"Oh, why does Beltran play so shallow?" Or why he plays so deep? It's like because he can catch everything. Cano was the
Mhm.
same way. Caught
No,
everything.
I agree with you. There's
It's
some
easy
plays
for
that
them.
make
The
the
game is
baseball.
easy for them.
It just looks easier for them. That's the reality.
Yeah,
It
that's
makes
it.
they
Yeah,
make it look easy. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with
Nobody
you.
else can do it. I mean, and everybody gets caught up on just offense and what have you done for me lately. And I love Altuve. Don't get me wrong. Like
No, of course.
postseason Altuve, I'll take Altuve every day in the postseason. But I'm talking about if you can't play in 162 and if you can't field your position, you're a liability. You got to get to October. You know,
Mhm.
and Cano was never a postseason guy like that. But
No.
day in and day out, he was one of those guys who you needed him, and it bothers me that he used whatever he used because it's like I don't think he needed it.
No,
He's a
and he
guy
would
who I
have been
could
a
tell you
first
I don't
ballot
think he
Hall of
needed it.
Famer without it. He
No,
would
he
have
didn't
been a
need it.
first ballot. Damn.
He didn't need it. He didn't need it. He didn't need it. He was the same shape his whole career. Was never a big buff guy. For what I'm guessing, maybe he did it for. I'm speculating, probably like stamina purposes.
I
To me,
think
I
for
think it was
recovery,
recovery. I don't
yeah.
think it was like, oh, I'm a muscle guy. No, he's a line drive hitter. Él siempre ha sido un bateador de fuerza, de líneas,
Yeah.
líneas,
And above
lines, line.
average in terms of power, yes, but he was not trying to get. I don't think people understand. Most of these people, and I don't know what he took and whatever,
Right,
right?
right,
I
right, right.
didn't do the research, but most of these guys do it because they want to recover faster. They want to go back, and then to this day, you see Cano, and all he talks is basically how he loves the game, and he doesn't need to be playing. Like
Right. For
contract
what?
over.
Right.
Don't worry
He's
about
got
it.
money. Got money.
It's not the money. He
Yep.
got the money already. He just likes to play. He goes to DR. He's on the Caribbean series. He doesn't need to do all of this, but he does it because the day that he steps from the game is because he's not enjoying it anymore. That's the reality.
No, he's tremendous. I tip my hat to that guy. He's got no business having to play anymore. He doesn't need to.
It doesn't need
What he did in Mexico. Um, I don't care where you're playing. You can be playing in with the freaking Long Island Ducks. You
to.
hit 400 at that age,
Yeah.
todavía te queda, le queda algo. So,
Hmm.
you can't, you try to do that, let me try to do that at, 40 something, please. So,
Impossible.
no,
Mira, the other one that I had for you, Marcus Stroman, $18 million old if he pitches more than 140 innings. Are the Yankees gonna let him do that?
hell no.
All right,
He's not
tell me
gonna.
about it.
No, because look, I get it. I'm not gonna back. I can't back Stroman all the time because Stroman is a prickly guy. He's a guy who, um, he ruffles feathers. Él le gusta el chisme.
He's
I'm not
rough
gonna
around. Like, how is it? He's rough around the
around the
edges.
edges, rough around the edges. And he's gonna ruffle feathers around people who are around him, and he's gonna
Mhm.
say what he feels, and that's part of what also helps him compete. So if
Mhm.
nothing else, I think he's going to use this as fuel, whether it's an audition for another team or for this team. But the Yankees are not going to let him pitch those 140 innings. I don't foresee it unless, God forbid, a Clark Schmidt injury or what have you. Uh, you know, I don't see
Mhm.
it. So I see him being moved, which we talked about a little bit offline, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see it.
So here's what I think. One of these pitches, either you know, with the record of Carlos Rodon, I think he's gonna get injured eventually.
Yeah,
Spring training
yeah.
somewhere, he will. I think that he will get a shot to 140 innings if he stays within the rotation. Luis Gil went down. Gary Cole, as we know, went down last year. Clark Smith went down.
Yeah, yeah, guys get
At the end
hurt.
of the day, the guys get hurt, and you don't have Nestor Cortez anymore. I
That's
know that
right.
they signed Matt Freed, but also Matt Freed has had injury problems in the past. So
I think that could derail the Yankees, and we'll talk about that when we on another episode when we
yeah,
preview. That could
mhm,
be what undoes the Yankees. The Yankees got a lot of age in that roster. That's a
they do,
that's a problem.
they do,
That's a problem.
they do. I agree with you, and I think that this is the year that they need to call their top pitching prospect. They need to have
100%.
them just like they had. Detroit had Jackson Jobe on the
Yeah,
roster
yeah,
last year.
yep.
The Yankees need to do that. I don't know if he's ready or not. I know he's in AAA.
He better be ready
Call him
soon.
up.
They're gonna
Yeah,
need
he
him.
got to be ready.
You
That's
gotta
the
be ready.
reality. He needs to be ready. And but that's about it. I mean, the Yankees are gonna die. Well, it's not even about the Yankees.
L-
It's
eh,
about Marcus. I'm sorry. It's about Marcus. Okay, stay with Marcus. I think that he shouldn't be talking about this. I think that
No.
this just puts a target on him, and the fans are gonna flip against him, because of it, right? And what he needed to do was do it behind doors and don't say I'm not pitching out of the bullpen. Just say
Hmm.
let's try it out, and somebody's gonna go down eventually, right? And when that happens, you'll have your opportunity to pitch, put it 25 maybe outings, 20 outings starting, right? 140 innings, to be honest, is a lot for any
Hmm.
pitcher right now.
Nowadays,
For
yeah.
any pitcher right now, 140 innings. That's hard. I'm sorry, that's
Yeah,
hard.
especially that's like back in the day doing 200 and something innings. There was a time in the early 90s when I was growing up, 300 innings was like something that they used to do.
Yeah.
140 innings is like, you know, you
Damn, I
don't
don't
get
even
it
remember
often.
the 300. Maybe Randy Johnson.
When I was like a baby, they were doing 300 innings. That was like the top guys.
Yeah. And then 200 was the norm.
The norm.
Now 180, 170 is the norm, basically.
Those are like the horse, the top line guys.
Correct. And the 200 innings, I think Zach Wheeler did it.
Oh, don't
It
remind
is,
me of Zach Wheeler, bro. Oh,
yeah, he's a
I
killer.
get
He's a killer.
upset when I think about him because that was a guy who they let go. They let
They
go,
let him go
and look how
too.
durable he is. And with the Mets, he couldn't stay healthy. You see how?
That is crazy. No, but it's also something about the Phillies, though. They do something with their pitchers
I agree.
because
I agree with that.
they have something going on. There's something in the water with the Phillies and the pitch. I'm scared with whoever they get because they just I
They're
don't know
good at
what they do.
developing. They figured it out, yeah, because they used to never be like that.
Hmm.
The Phillies traditionally were off an offensive
Offensive,
organization.
yeah, yeah,
Offensively, usually it's all boppers. They're because they play in a bandbox,
yeah. They
but
do.
they do, but they know how they figured out how to pitch there. They all know how to pitch there. And I love
That's a
Christopher Sanchez. That's my guy. I love him. He's
Yeah,
like
no, no, no.
I love him. He's great.
The most underrated Dominican pitcher we got. Nobody knows about him,
Oh,
but
he's
he does
great.
a great
He's
fucking
he's great.
yeah.
He's
He's
great, and
great
he
at
can
it.
continue to build on it. He's
Mhm.
getting better, and he just got to continue to be more consistent throughout, and
Mhm.
he's doing that. He can be an ace. He's up there. He's up
Yeah,
there. I love watching him play. He's my guy. Everybody loves talking about Framber and all these other guys. I'm like, okay, I'll take Christopher Sanchez. You give me him.
the
I
one
love him.
that I hate not that I hate, but is Luis Castillo. Like they just love this guy for some reason,
Hmm.
right? And I'm like, I don't
The
know, I just don't
potential,
see it.
though, the
I
talent,
don't
though.
see it.
That's why I understand what you're saying. I get it, but it's like
Mhm.
they're in love with the guy who he was in Cincinnati, and he's been that in flashes. But like the park he pitches in is very favorable
Yeah,
to pitchers.
yeah.
You would think
No,
that
I
he
mean
would bring it
Seattle
up to
is
another level.
all
Great,
five of their starters look like aces
right,
in
right,
Seattle. After they
yeah,
get out there, I mean 4.0 and above in terms of ERA.
right, right, right,
You can look it
right,
up.
right.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah. The dimensions are huge, and not to get off topic, but I think
Yeah,
that's what's
yeah.
hurt a lot of offensive players there. When
I
they get
mean,
there, they offense goes there to die. You know.
Teoscar talked about it. I think we spoke about that before, but
Hmm.
basically he talks about how do you call it? The
Warning
damn.
track,
No, no, no.
the air,
Basically, no. It's basically when the pitchers pitch, there's always a black. How do you call it? Like basically, there's something black in the center field, and they call that something though. The batter's eye. The batter's eye. That's what it
bad
is.
as I. Okay,
I don't know if you noticed, but basically every center field is black in the back. Is because they want their batters to actually see the
the
ball when it
focus
comes
in, right,
in.
right.
They don't want trees or fans and whatever out there. So that's why they keep that so clean because they want the batters to actually hit. See, Oscar talked about it. He said the batter's eye is horrible. For whatever
Uh-huh.
reason, I just couldn't get to it. And well, as you can see, basically you see the splits of a Julio Rodriguez outside. The same thing with Randy Rosarena last year. They just suck. They just suck in Seattle.
Yeah, I think, and it sounds crazy, and you and me are like the only two that probably still are on the Julio Rodriguez bandwagon,
I
but
am 100%.
we still there. We both still there. They think we're crazy, but
No.
I feel like maybe he could benefit after this year if he doesn't have a good year. He's still young. Maybe he could use a change of scenery. Maybe
No,
is
man,
what
no,
he no well no listen. I'm not
no.
saying he can't recover. What I'm saying is they got to figure out that offense around him. I don't. He needs help, and I still don't feel he has enough. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
He can't carry it by himself. It's not all on him. I'm saying that the organization has failed around him, so that so if they don't get it together around him, we don't know if we're gonna see the best version of Julio Rodriguez. That's what I'm talking about.
No, and I'll tell you this. I mean, when people come at me with Julio Rodriguez and he's not as good as we think, because to be honest, he left a sour taste in our mouth in the World Baseball Classic. Like as a, like you want your first batter to be great, and he wasn't that.
Lindor is still running.
That's true. But
I
basically,
remember that play.
J Rod, he had 28 home runs his first year, rookie of the
Right.
year. 32 home runs and 100 plus RBIs his second year, fourth in MVP in the American League. And then he
Great.
kind of stunk it up in the first half of the past season. He still played over 140. He still had a
20 plus homers.
a 2020 plus a 4 point something WAR.
War. Yeah, yeah. That's not a
Come
scrub.
on, man.
That's not a
He's not a
scrub. Yeah.
scrub.
People
And he
trying to
batted
put him. Yeah.
above 300 on the second
Mhm.
half too. I mean, come on. And you're
Tú
gonna tell
sabes
me
lo que
he's
es.
come on.
Go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm on that island. I'm dying on
No,
that
no, I'm
island.
with you. Me too.
Come on.
Tú sabes lo que, and this is what bothers me, and this is why people don't use their head, right?
Mhm.
They will defend Fernando Tatis Jr., who is great at right field. Don't get me wrong. I love his glove at right field. Inconsistent as hell. Up and down, just as up and down as Julio Rodriguez is. Look it up. The numbers don't lie. But because Julio is not flashy like that, they don't like him as much. They like people, the fans like flashy. That's what they like. So they rather have a guy who they don't understand the concept of a guy being so great at his position that he hits
Defensively.
20 homers defensively. He plays at a premium position and he's a 5 WAR player, give or take. On
And he's
a bad year.
I'll say this. He might be the best. I'll put that he's above him, of course, but in terms of 5 tool players, he's right there.
Yeah,
He's right
yeah,
there. You
he's
can't tell
there.
me
Yeah.
Devers. You can't tell me.
No, no,
Of
those
course,
guys.
Jose Ramirez. Of course, un
No, he's
plato
there. Yep.
aparte. A plato aparte. Jose Ramirez is like that guy. But you
De los
can't put Juan Soto
dominicanos,
on there.
de
Come on.
los dominicanos, mira, tú tienes, off the top of my head,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ketel, I give him four
Yeah,
tools.
yeah.
The reason I don't give him five is because he's not that fast. But if he's got 4.5 tools, I love him though. So that's my guy. I don't care. He's complete. Es pelotero completo. Ketel, Jose, Julio, y Fernando. Those are the four that are like all around. If you want to give me Vladdy Jr., I'll take it. He doesn't run, but he plays first base. So
Mhm.
he's a two-way player. Those are the five. If you want to say five.
I
Everybody
like that.
else is mostly a masher or a slugger.
Damn, we got really out of topic on that one, bro.
I know, I know, I
Wow.
know, I know. Yeah, I
All
know.
right.
Which by the way, those are my five
Yeah.
favorite Dominican players. So
Oh,
there you
we're
go.
gonna see him on the list. We'll see him on the list. All right.
Yep.
Last thing before we move on to the top 100, right? What do you think about Bregman signing with the Red Sox?
I think it's a good move for them. And you and I think we agree that when you sign a short deal like that, even if you front load money, it's okay. So he's a little overpaid for, year by year. I believe he has opt outs in every year. I think it's what is it, 40 million a year, right? So
40
three
million a year.
years, yeah.
120.
So you look at it, you go, okay, coño, este tipo he's overpaid, but not necessarily. I think what he represents for that team, his veteran presence.
Mhm.
Hopefully they let him play third base, which I've talked about many times. I think if you stick him at second base, I think that's a mistake because you're taking the glove out of his hand.
So here's what I think he did. I think I could be wrong, but I think that he's saying, you know what? He can opt out after 1 year. That's the reality. He can get 40 million and get another contract, another 170 million, whatever he wants, right? I think this is what he wants to do. He wants the same contract as a guy like Marcus Simeon, for example, right?
Hmm.
Because second baseman, you look around, it's Ketel Marte, Marcus Simeon. To be honest, it goes
They don't get
down
paid.
very bad. They
Second
don't get
baseman
paid.
don't get paid.
They
No,
don't get paid.
no.
So I think he wants to say, you know what, you're gonna get a 30 home run guy that gets on base and hits for average as well at second base. Premium position right there. Is it a mistake? Maybe, but I think that that's what he wants to compare with. What do you think
I
about that?
no, I think that's a good point. I don't know if you noticed, but it's like second base is one of those positions that's really taken a hit over the last couple of years. Like first and second base are devalued positions. I feel like everybody wants to play shortstop. I feel like
Mhm.
everybody either plays second base or short. I'm sorry, third base or either third base,
For
outfield,
shortstop.
or shortstop. That's it. That's what everybody plays.
Yeah.
And everybody else, if you're not in those positions, you're not gonna get paid. So
No,
it's
I
interesting.
I 100% agree with you. Second base and first base, people
They
forget.
don't get paid. They don't get
Get
paid,
paid.
and that's a shame because now I understand what the I don't know how it works. Maybe you can enlighten me when it comes to second base. I
Mhm.
know that for WAR, there is an adjustment and calculation when it comes to first baseman. I know that where there's an adjustment. They're evaluated differently because the value's not there, so their WAR is gonna be lower usually
Mhm.
at first
Yeah.
base. I don't know if that applies at second, but
No. The
no,
thing
right?
is that since they don't get as many putouts defensively, they get take a little bit of a hit. You get
Okay,
what I'm
got you,
saying? They don't
got
get
you.
as many putouts as the shortstop or third baseman. It's
Okay, so that's
still
what that's based on.
correct in the range and all this stuff. So you will see like Cano would have like great war, Altuve at his time. Like when you're
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
they evaluate it as great as they come. But that's
got
where
you.
they take a little bit of a hit. And if you're not a really good base runner, which war takes into account, then that
You
kind
take
of
a hit,
damages
and
take a
most
hit.
first basemen are not good base runners.
Base
So
runners.
that
That's
makes
where
sense.
they take. Mhm. All right. So, sorry. Last thing. Oh no no that was it. I'm sorry. That was it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
MLB Network 100 right now list. Now we're not gonna do the whole list. We're only gonna do the 29 Latino players. All right. You guys can go ahead. We didn't make this list. All right. We're gonna talk about it just because it's like top of mind of people. All right. So
Absolutely.
I'll start with number 29. All right. And we're gonna make them brief. Right. We're not
Yep,
gonna
yep. Go
take
ahead.
too much time. Number 29 in terms of Latino players, but number 80 sits on the list. We got Wilson Contreras, the older Contreras. What do you got? Tell me.
I don't think he should be there. But
Damn, that's harsh.
he's taken such a hit
Hmm.
compared to he used. There was a time where he was better than his brother,
Yeah, of
and
course, by a lot.
he was by a lot. His brother
Yeah.
said so. It is what it is. He's there. Whatever. Don't care.
All right. Number 28 and number 85 on the list, Isaac Paredes, a third baseman for the
I was
Astros now.
surprised. I was
Mhm.
surprised he was there.
Yeah,
To be honest with
I
you,
agree.
were
I
you?
agree. Yeah, man, it's 100 people. I mean,
That's what I'm
but
saying. Like,
you know,
you couldn't put Jose Berrios in there. Like,
that's what I heard you.
no, I know, I know. I'm just saying. Look.
uh,
I Jose Berrios. I went through the lot because I. This is why I was trying to avoid the list. And then when you mentioned it, I went back and I looked at it, and it caused aggravation. So I
yeah,
was like, they put. Come on, they can't put Jose. I know it's a different position. They couldn't put Jose Berrios there. Jose Berrios, it gives you innings like forever. He's as
yeah,
durable as it comes. I know he's
that
not an
is true.
ace, but I'm saying like his number 3.8 ERA, 3.7 ERA, 3.8 every year, same thing. 13 wins, 14 wins, 13 wins, 14 wins. That has
Oh,
value.
he won. He won the most. If I'm not mistaken, he won the most games for any Latino player last year. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong with that.
He's up there.
Like
I don't
15
remember,
games.
but
I mean,
yo creo
to win
que
above
entre él.
15 wins. And
Yeah,
what?
no, I think it was between him and, if I'm not mistaken, I think Seth won a lot of games too, though. I'm not
He did.
100% sure.
Look,
So,
Berrios won 16 games,
yeah.
and I'll check San Lugo, but I remember that like as a fact. Like I didn't know he won 16 games. I was like, damn, that's a lot. And Seth Lugo was a way better, player last year. Oh no, they both
Yeah, of
won
course.
16. You're right.
Yes, I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. It's like now Seth is was better
much
last year. I'm
better.
not saying he wasn't.
Mhm.
Seth was ace like last year, but just just for whatever. Okay, so you give us three. God forbid we have more than three. We can't have more than that. But go ahead.
All
Oh,
right.
Edwin Diaz to me was a big omission. That to me was a big omission. Oh, I'm sorry. Edwin Diaz got to be on the list. I'm sorry. I'm
Damn,
sorry.
you're right. Fuck. I have here's the thing with this list, right?
100. 100
Okay,
though.
okay. Here. Listen, I don't think they're expecting for him to be a top 100 player last year. He'll need to prove it. He'll need to prove it. I mean, he wasn't in good shape last year. He's been out for basically the year before. Come on, he needs to prove it. That's the reality.
And you know
All right.
what, Yusuf, as Yusuf says, I gotta be honest.
Mhm.
Raisel was really good.
Yeah,
Raisel
that
Iglesias was
one's
good. I
supposed to
think
be.
that
He
one.
was
I
supposed to
think
be.
that he should be here. Even
I
more than
can take
Berrios
Wilson
and the other guy.
Contreras out of here or
Yeah, yeah.
Rocky
To me,
Sasaki.
right?
I can take
If you
him out.
put if you put Raisel there and you don't have Berrios, I'm good with it. I'm fine. That's even more arguable. So
More arguable. I agree. All right, number 27 or number 84 on the whole list, Jurickson Profar
yeah,
from
deserved
Curacao.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely deserves. Number 83 on their list, but number 26 on our Latino list, Luis Arraez.
Alita Corta, he deserves to be there.
Hey, bro. Do you
Nah,
think
nah,
they're
he's
upset? Do you think Venezuelans are upset that he's number 20, like 83 on the whole list
they should be
after
used
batting
to
champion 3 times in a row?
they should be used to his evaluation because it's just the reality of his how he is, of the player he is and his value in today's baseball. See, people think, oh, he's not valuable because he doesn't hit for power. That's why. No, it's not just that. His defense is terrible. He doesn't
Hey,
have good defense and he doesn't
that is
run
true.
and he
That is
doesn't
true.
walk and he doesn't steal bases. So what
What's the value?
am right? Am I crazy for saying he's just a singles hitter? You can't compare him to Tony Gwynn. Hasta Tony Gwynn Gordo corría más que él. Okay?
That's true.
And he used to at least hit doubles, you know? So,
Something that people have to look into, right? I like a lot. There's a tool called similarity score on
yeah, you love
baseball
that sport.
reference, right? And I love to just look at players. When you go to his reference, it looks like he all the players, not basically the 10 players that they assimilate with Luis Arraez are from the 1910s, 1920s. I swear to God. Judy
Get out of
Johnson,
here.
Bob Dillinger,
Wow.
Dick Porter, Sammy Hale,
He
Pat
wrote them
Duncan.
down. Tú te
Come
pasaste,
on,
bro.
man.
You're gonna be in
But
hot
that
water, bro.
tells you
Bro,
I don't care.
do you realize that every time we record, we're like dragging this guy through through
I know. And he's
I
such a
know,
nice guy, though. He's such a nice
I
guy.
know.
He's such a
Yeah,
nice
'cause
guy.
he's such a nice guy. By the way,
But
we comparing you with players from 1910.
Shirley Jackson.
Shoeless Joe Jet. No, but he had power. He had a little
No,
more
I know.
power. He was a
He
good
was
player.
he was a Hall of Fame, he was a Hall
He
of
was gonna be
Famer
a Hall of Famer.
before the whole thing.
Oh, I
All
said
right.
tipo he was hitting like 370 and shit like that. Like,
I know. Look, number 25, 81 on their list, Mark Vientos. He said Tormenta. What do you think?
okay, I guess he's
Yeah.
he's got to
Ah,
prove it more. It's a little high for my liking. I think it's a little too soon. Me personally,
I think he
and I'm
needed
a
to be
Met
in the
fan.
90s.
Right,
He
right,
needed to
right.
be in
Yeah,
the 90s.
he's too high, too high.
Number 24, number 79 on their list, Salvador Perez.
I guess. See, that's when this is the The sabermetric nerds don't like him because he doesn't walk. That's all that
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because he doesn't. It's true. He doesn't walk. They don't like it because he can mash, but his defense is not as good, and he barely gets on base. That hurts him.
That hurts him a lot. Like he's a
That's all it
300
is.
type of guy on terms of OBP. Like that's
That's bad.
horrible.
Yeah, it's
That's
like what
horrible.
305 or 310 or something like that. And yeah, and to me, if he continues like this, no te crea, he's not a slam dunk for the Hall of Fame. He's not.
Yeah,
He'll
I
have to
agree.
hang around for a
I
long
agree.
time to, you know. So I
I
don't know.
think I think I'll say this. If he continues, of course, declining, but his relationship with the media is so good that I think they'll
Yeah, it
get
is.
him in eventually. That's my
Yeah, yeah,
that's my opinion,
yeah.
especially
No,
for
I
a
agree.
catcher. You know,
Yeah, he's got good power
a
numbers, but yeah,
yeah, no. And what I'm saying for a catcher,
absolutely.
that is one of the best we've ever seen in terms of offensively, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Number 23, number 74 on their list, Seth Lugo.
I think you could have put him anywhere between 70 and 90. Honestly, it's fine.
Oh, bro.
Between 70
I'm gonna
something and
tell. Can
90.
I tell you something about Seth Lugo last year?
Go ahead.
He was second on Cy Young. Did
Yeah,
you know that he was the runner-up?
I totally forgot that he was the runner-up.
I'm
I
sorry,
thought he was
man. I
like
mean,
third for some reason.
no, no, no. He was second.
That's you know what? That's impressive.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, damn, and you
impressive.
got him
That's impressive.
74th. I'm sorry, man. That's kind of mean. That's kind of mean. I'm sorry.
You know what it is that they think it was out of nowhere. A lot of this is
Yeah,
also based on reputation. That's all it
that
is.
is true. That is true. I agree with that. All right, number 22, number 57 on their list, Emmanuel Clase. I think he's the only. I think I could be wrong, but he's the only reliever on the list.
De los Latinos, sí.
De los
I
Latinos,
will have
see, I don't, no,
out of
I
everybody,
just
probably.
I didn't see no Josh Hader. I will need to do my own research, but I remember that that was the only relief pitcher
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, yeah. So that's why
that's
there was no
crazy.
Edwin Diaz. So all right, well, that makes sense. If you're only gonna put one closer, Jesus Christ. I mean,
But the
no,
best
no, no,
one, right?
no. Mason Miller estaba ahí. Para
Oh,
mí
you're
que
right.
Mason Miller estaba ahí.
Yeah, no, you're right. Mason Miller was there.
Yeah,
You're right.
Mason Miller was
Damn.
there. There's about two.
Right.
Yeah, the Americano, they gotta put their guys in there. So,
Yeah, that is true. All right, tell me about Manuel Clase. You like it? I mean, 57,
love
whatever.
him. He's a closer, so they're gonna always put him in that.
Mhm.
Closers are not gonna be ranked super high. I mean, definitely, I think he's up. It's a pretty good ranking considering he's a closer.
I
That's a
agree.
specialized position. You know,
Yeah.
um, I love him. He's got to erase what happened in the postseason. Um, because he
Yeah.
was dominant. I mean, you and me, we talked about he could have won a Cy Young. He was that great.
Mhm.
So,
He was that great.
and I stand by that. So it's a regular season award. I think
Mhm.
he'll be good again. He'll dominate
Yeah, I hate when people come at me and talk about the
the
postseason.
postseason.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
after
they
somebody gets the
mhm.
award or gets the award afterwards. Like, come on, man. You're really gonna bring this up? You think that a judge
Mariano
didn't
Mariano had his moment. Like Mariano blew two. People don't remember this. They
big
forget.
games, yeah.
Big
Yeah.
save.
Big
And
save.
he's the greatest of all time. So,
Yeah.
Class A will get back if Cleveland gets back in the postseason. You have to believe that he'll get in that spot. He'll want that spot to be in that spot, and he'll come through. You have to
Yeah.
believe. You have a guy like that. You don't. That's why I don't have a problem. You hate it that you keep putting him in that spot. That's your guy. You don't
Mhm.
say, "Oh, I'm gonna put this, Fulano in there to close." No, you got here with this guy. That's my guy, and I'm gonna throw him in there.
Yeah.
It's that simple. With Diaz, it was different because he struggled the whole year. That was kind of head scratching, right? But with
No,
with
I
this
get it.
guy, he didn't struggle. You put him in there.
All right, number 21, number 52 on their list, they Oscar Hernandez. Not bad.
Um,
Not bad. No, I like him there. Maybe a
I
little
yeah,
higher, but that's good.
I
You know,
think
he
it's fine.
brings.
I think it's
Yeah, I
fine.
think it's fine.
I like
Number
him.
20, number 47 for them, Marcel Osuna.
You know what? For a DH, that's pretty good,
Yeah,
and he put up
yeah,
really good numbers.
yeah.
I can't get on them because you remember they're looking at the analytics. positional value. That's how I kind of take it with a grain of salt, you know. Um, Not bad considering that he's not, you know, él no es el nene lindo de Otani. That's gonna be a number one
Hey,
ranked. What do you
hey,
think? He's gonna
hey,
be number two?
hey. The
No,
Golden Goose.
the golden goose, baby.
Number 19 and number 45 on their list. Framber Valdez.
He had a little bit of a shaky year, considering
No,
how he.
Framber.
No, no, no. What I mean is not shaky. Like he wasn't as he
As
finished.
dominant.
He finished strong. He finished strong, but he
Finished strong.
started off
That is true.
slow. He started off slow, and it was good to see him bounce back. I
On the
think he's
second
fine
half.
there. I like him there.
I
Second
agree.
half was great. Second half was
Yeah,
great, but I'm saying he had a rough first half.
I agree with that.
Bounce back strong.
All right. Sorry. Number 19, number 18, number 42, Carlos Correa.
That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
He never when he plays, he's up there. But
When he plays, he's a top 30 player.
yeah,
Maybe
of
top
course,
20. Maybe top
top
20.
top 25, probably top 25.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm okay with 42. It is what it is.
That's
And
fine.
number 17, number 41 on the list, Willie Adames.
Very good year. Played very well. I like him on the Giants. It's a good contract. I'm happy for him. You know,
Yeah.
he played very well.
Yeah.
Good,
His
very
defense
underrated player.
came down a little bit last year.
A little, right, right. I think he really worked on it, and that's why I give a guy like that props because he could have given up, he could have quit. He really worked hard on his defense. I don't think he's gonna be a shortstop
For the
more than
remaining of the
two.
contract.
No, no, he'll be moved at some point, but for now, he's steady. He's steady, and he's gonna match. He's gonna hit, and he's good enough at the position. So
I agree.
very solid
I agree.
player.
Number 16, number 40 on their list, Jackson Churio.
Ese va a ser el mejor venezolano.
Of
That
all
guy
time,
right there. No, well, not of all time, but in the major leagues at some point. I gotta see more. No, the entre of all time. Jesus, what we doing here?
Miguel
You trying to
Tejada.
put me on the
I
spot?
mean,
No,
Miguel
Miguel
Cabrera.
Cabrera.
No, look,
He's
I
the
think
yeah.
he has a chance to be the best outfielder on top of Acuna Jr. I'll say. I think he has a better chance to be better than Acuna of all time.
He's gonna have a better. He's gonna have a better future. He's gonna have a better career. I think I told you that before. People think I'm
Mhm.
crazy. I'm saying it now. I'm calling my shot.
Yeah,
Jackson Churio will have a better career than Raul Acuna Jr.
yeah, a better career. A
Better
people,
career. Excuse me, better career.
yeah, people will say about Acuna that he was better. His peak was better. I can't
Yeah,
disagree with
yeah,
that.
right.
But in terms of career, I think he's gonna have the longevity. He signed a contract for 8 years already, and at a good price. By that time, he'll still be early. He'll be 28. He's
Young,
still
young.
young. He can still get a big contract. I'm not saying that is about the contracts. It's about you'll get the opportunity to play for many
That's right.
years, and he is a real 5 tool player,
Yeah,
just like Acuna is. That's the
yeah,
reality.
yeah. No, the only difference, the reason why I think he's gonna have the better career, obviously, is because he's younger and he hasn't had the injuries yet.
Mhm.
But the reason why is because of this. I believe in him a little more
Yeah,
between the ears than Acuna. That's the
I
difference.
agree. I
That's
agree.
the difference. El otro es un loco.
Mhm.
He's got Acuna's more. Listen, I say this. Acuna is the most talented Venezolano of all time,
Yeah,
and he may always be that.
yeah. Mhm.
As far as talent, there is none better than him. I had to argue with a guy in the barbershop about this. But because he said, no, pero Miguel Cabrera, I'm like, tú no me estás escuchando, brother. Talento, estoy hablando de talento. I'm not saying, okay, de que no se lesiona. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Mhm.
that talent, when you look at the talent, Venezuela's never had a player like that. Never, ever,
No.
on in any measurement, ever.
a When they put him against each other with Juan Soto, I get the whole thing with Juan Soto and him 2018, blah blah.
Venezolanos and Dominicans love to kill each
Yeah,
other
they
online. I
love
get
to
it.
argue about it. Look, I tell them all the time, your guy's more complete. If he would be healthy, he would be a better player. But
Right.
he's not available. I'm sorry.
Soto's available and Soto cashed in.
Yeah, he
So
did. He
he
did.
got that's it, checkmate. He did it. Even me,
He
that
won
I'm not
that.
the
He
biggest.
won that
He
one.
won that. He won that. That's it. You got to give it to him. Listen, everybody else who wants to throw shots at Juan Soto, myself included,
Mhm.
right? We got to eat it.
Yeah,
He got paid. He got paid, and he is a premier bat. Now he's got to lay off the mango, and he's got to stay in shape because I seen some pictures that are not very flattering. Okay, he's got
that
to
is
chill with the
true.
chicharrones. No, no, no. Yo no quiero ver comiendo chimi in Washington Heights. This guy got to stay focused. A batear, meter mano, and I think he will.
Okay, last thing in terms of that thing with Acuna. If he really wants to prove himself, right? And I'll give this to the Venezuelan fans. If he wants to prove himself, his deal has a club option, right? It's $17 million they'll give him. Of course, in the open market, he's a lot more than that.
Right, right,
He can opt out of it if he wants to. Now, the opt out would be $10 million. Like he needs to give out ten
right.
million dollars to get out of the contract in 2027. I don't know if he would do that. If he believes in himself and says,
He
you know
bet on
what,
himself.
if he wants to bet on himself at 29 and say, you know what, forget about these club options that they have on me. I'm gonna go to the open market before I'm 30. I respect that, but he needs to stay healthy.
Right, right. He's got to change his game. I think that's
Yeah.
why I tell you with the whole thing. That's why, like, and we're gonna talk about it with the next person on the list. Esa vaina de 60 stolen bases, eso no me impresiona because it's not sustainable.
No,
That doesn't impress me because yeah, you could get 67 stolen bases, but 60 or 70 stolen bases, but it doesn't last.
it's your
It's like
body.
yeah, your
It's
body,
his
you're gonna break
body. It's
down.
not. No, Santos. It's something about you can be a. I don't know, man. It's just people are built different.
Yeah,
I
good point.
think
Yeah,
that just like Derrick Rose, I don't know if you remember this, how
yeah.
he moved, it was different. Like it looked like one of his legs was bigger than the other, like
Mm-hmm.
taller than
Right,
the other.
right.
I just
Yeah.
don't understand. Like Acuna has something that we just don't see that he breaks down so much. There has to be something wrong with him somewhere.
With his leg. Yeah, somewhere the legs or cartilage down the.
Something
But
is wrong. Something is wrong. There's no way that you can have so many freak injuries um,
twice, twice
twice.
major.
Yeah,
There's baseball players who never have that injury.
correct.
Most baseball players don't have that
Don't
injury.
have it. Correct.
Yeah,
So
that's like a basketball
it's
injury.
not bad luck. It's not bad luck. There's something about him that is just not right.
Anatomy, his anatomy, something with
Anatomy
his.
is
Yeah,
fucked up.
I
Anyways,
hope he gets over that. So,
yeah, hopefully. Number 15, number 31 on their list, Eli de la Cruz.
all right, he's too high, too
Okay.
high,
Okay.
too high. Like, and I get. This is where one of the ones where they put like they project out. They've got
Mhm.
him put here now. I mean, I guess you know what? I'll take that back. 31. I guess. I guess.
In the whole
I
MLB.
could live with. I guess I could live with that. That's not terrible. I mean, someday he's probably gonna be top 10 if he stays. If he continues to improve. He's got top 10 talent,
He
but
has top 10 talent.
yeah,
I
he's
agree
just
with
not
you.
there yet. I feel like we're anointing him too soon.
We're
That's
trying to
all.
rush him into it
Yeah, yeah.
to
He's
sell
got to
him.
get. He's got to put it all together now.
Yeah,
Now I think
that
he
is true.
could,
Mhm.
but
All right, number 30, Jose Altuve. Number 14 on our list, Jose Altuve. This is
this
based
is
out of merit.
that. Yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. He's. This is the name brand. This is name
It's
brand
the name
value. This
brand.
is right. This is it. This is him. This is like Kellogg's cereal, or you know.
And I'll say this. The next one, number 13, number 29, just one below him, is also
Uh-huh.
unmarried. Manny Machado.
También. Yeah, Manny
That's a
Machado.
reality.
Yeah,
I can say
it's
it.
by reputation. Reputation.
His reputation. And, if you think I'm calling out Jose Altuve because of it, Manny Machado, one of my guys, but I got to call it. It's
No,
based
you're
out of
right.
merit.
You're right.
You all right. Number 12, number 28 on their list, William Contreras.
Wow, quite a jump.
Yeah, quite a jump.
He had a great year. He had a great year. I give it to him. He's an
I
offensive
think this might
force.
be the biggest jump. He went from 81 last year to
Yeah,
28.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. What a big jump. Nah, you got to give it to him. He's been great, especially offensively. I feel like he's a guy and also defensively he's improved.
Yeah.
Um, I've been very impressed with him. I don't like his shenanigans sometimes, but it's this little he's a little arrogant with the way he carries himself, but
Yeah.
very good player.
I love him. I love him how he
Eh,
plays.
yeah.
Number 11, number 27 on our list, Jaren Duran.
This is my guy. I
No,
love
this is
Jaren
our
Duran.
guy. This is our
Yeah, I love
guy.
him. Yeah, he's great. He's great. He is fun to watch.
Maybe we see the game
I think
differently
we
from
see
other
the game.
people.
Yeah, we see the game the same way.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think so. I think
we
we
see the
value
game the same way.
defense.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's not just that because there's so many players who could play defense they can't hit and they have certain value, right?
Mhm.
But when you see a guy who does, look at this guy, he does everything. Look at traditional stats, look at analytics, look at B war, look at F war,
F war,
look at everything. Go ahead. Go ahead. You
OAA,
know, I'm sure
outs
you
above
have.
replacement. Yeah.
Woba, look at he check. Extra base hits check. Triples check. Doubles check. Batting
I
average
have a
check. Home runs
I have
check.
a
Stolen base
theory.
check.
I have a theory why they have him so low.
Go ahead, because he's Mexican.
No, it's that whole thing with the homophobia stuff. I
Oh
think that
yeah.
that
You
yeah.
love a good conspiracy. I gotta give
I'm
it to you.
sorry, man, but I had to throw it in there. I think he's a top 10 player. Top 15. I'm sorry. Top
Wow.
15. Top
Top
15. Top
15.
15. All right. Top 15.
I'm with you, and
Right?
everybody thinks I'm
Come
crazy
on,
because
man.
they're
Like,
like, he's better than Devers. I've been saying that. Now,
oh,
I'm not
come on.
saying they've
Of
had better
course.
careers. I'm not saying, he's got to do more, but
Yeah.
he's more talented than Devers. That's the word. More talented than Devers.
8.7 in
Come
terms of
on,
war.
bro. Come
Come
on.
on. Where do you get that?
Yo, nowhere. You're
Ooh.
not getting it nowhere. Nowhere. And he played center field and left field. I know they got him listed as left field, but
Wow.
he played both well. He can play both.
Leader on doubles and triples in 1 year.
That's right.
Come
Extra
on,
base. I
man.
think no, and extra base hits. I think as well.
Mhm.
I found out in the American League. Think of all those monsters that were at the top: Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge, all those guys.
Yeah. Damn, bro. That was
Oh,
disrespectful. He's not a top.
caballo,
He's not
caballo. No,
27. I'm
but
sorry.
you got the writers over there.
Number 10,
That's all I'm
number
saying.
23, Julio Rodriguez.
Um, este, eh, I guess, I guess on talent, he didn't have a good year, but
No, no, no.
I
I know.
mean, I love who I listen. I love Julio. It's whatever. I'll put him up higher, but I would put him up higher, but he didn't have a good year, so I understand it.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
no, no. I'm 100% with them. He might be a little bit too high for the year that he
just
had.
for the
I'll say
year,
that.
right, right, yeah.
Fernando Tatis Jr., number 9, number 22 on their list.
That was based on postseason. that
Oh,
was
damn. You're
based on
right. You're
postseason. He
right.
didn't have a
You're
great
right.
year.
No,
He
no,
didn't
no.
have a
He
great
didn't.
year.
He
It's too
didn't.
high.
All
They
right.
love him. That's another one they love. They love
They
Fernando
love.
Tatis
They
Jr.
love. They love him.
Him and Correa, if you put his number, I know they don't play the same position anymore. Put him and Correa's numbers next to each other. They're the same, yet he's viewed as like up here and Correa's viewed as here.
Yeah, you just love Correa like that. No, I'm kidding.
I love no, I have a love-hate relationship with him because
I know.
I get mad because they put him like here, like he's made out of glass, but yet nobody talks about how Tatis Jr. is also made out of glass. And it's
Yeah,
like
that
they're
is
the
true.
same. They're the same, bro. They're basically the same. They wow, look how great. They show flashes, they kill it in the playoffs, and then they roll an ankle. Or whatever.
I think that it's also how the media perceives them because I think Carlos Correa, after that Astros thing, and he got a little bit nasty with the media, a little bit also like
Él es más serio, él es
más
medio
serio,
seco,
más mucho más serio.
es seco,
Es seco. Damn, that's the word. Él es seco.
es seco, y el otro es, I mean, aparte de lo que dice Claudio,
No, no, no.
es
We're not gonna get
divertido,
to
es
this podcast.
divertido, es
Yeah, okay, okay,
divertido.
yeah, yeah,
He likes to hang out and chill,
yeah.
you know. And,
Number 8, number 21 on their list, Rafael Devers.
Too high, bro. That
Too
that guy
high.
he didn't
Yeah.
do anything the last 3 months of the year. What are we talking about?
He's too
Am I
high.
crazy?
His defense is not great. Eh,
Yo, I think you
I'm
could pick
sorry. I
third
don't.
base
I'm
for
not
him.
a Devers lover. I'm sorry,
No,
man.
me neither. Me neither.
I'm sorry. You can throw me all the things that he's there with Vladdy. He's
Tú
there
eres
with
vende patria. Tú
whoever.
eres vende patria.
Yeah, no, but Devers, he just doesn't do it for me.
No, me
Do it.
neither. He puts up empty numbers. He's
Now,
he's 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 not bad. I'm not saying he sucks. So he's
mhm.
but his impact is minimal to me.
No, the thing is that he was carried by the 2018, you
Yes.
know,
Hmm.
season that he had at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, that's
It
what
was a
gave
great
him
year.
the
Great
contract,
year.
you know?
Great year.
So that was it. That was it. That was my rant for him. A number 7 might be my favorite player or the most underrated player.
Very much
Number
so.
18 on their list, Ketel Marte.
Great player.
Mhm.
That's a big climb. If you look at where he was a year ago, even 2 years ago, I'm sure he
65 to 18.
yeah. No, listen.
Yeah.
He and yo, if now I know he probably wouldn't have won the MVP in the National League porque
No, no,
Nene
no.
Lindo and Nene Lindo,
Yeah.
existió, you know.
El Lindor was
Pero
there too.
El Lindor was there too, but it's weird how Keter Marte got hurt and that took him out of the race, and then Lindor caught steam, and then
Mhm.
he got hurt. So I'm
Yeah.
saying MLB told them to sit up. Nah,
Ah,
you guys are
come
getting too
on.
close. You're catching up.
Sit him down. Sit him down.
Sit them down. No, they can't win. We got to give it to a DH.
Look, number 6, 16, Ronald Acuna Jr. He was number 1 on the list last year.
This was just because he missed time. That's it. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I
whatever,
agree with that. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yep.
Number 5, number 13 on their list, Vladdy Jr.
Oh, he's gonna get $900 million. That's what all my Dominican friends tell me. He's
900.
getting 900. He's getting that. He's gonna. I'm like, bro, you guys forget a year ago, going into last year, es un gordiflón. Le gusta saltarse mucho, es vago. Oh, ese nunca va a hacer nada. And then forget it. 1 year later, for everybody loves Vladi. I'm like, okay, he's got to hit again.
Yeah,
He's got to do it again. Now,
yeah.
if he does it again, he's gonna get paid. 400
450.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
450. I would
But
say
he had
because
a
I
great
think
year.
yeah, what I think that puts him on the 450 side. I think there's going to be a bidding war between the Red Sox and the Mets. I think that's the reality. I think that
Probably,
they're going to
probably.
be going at him, and same thing that happened with the Mets might just happen, but the other way with the Red Sox because they really want him. I really
I
think that they
think
want him
right.
specifically.
Instead of re-signing Peter Alonso to a long deal, which they
Mhm.
kept that open. That deal was structured with
Mhm.
the short term in mind.
Correct.
Um, where you have Peter Alonso, who at the very worst has a bad year and decides to opt in. All right,
Mhm.
Pete, you're a DH
Mhm.
at the very
Yeah,
worst, and I
yeah,
could see
I
them
agree.
doing that.
I
So,
agree with that. Number 4, number 9, Jose Ramirez.
oh man, this guy, Mr. La Para,
Yeah.
one of my favorite players, tremendous player. Um, my shortstop, my beloved shortstop. I love my
Lindor.
beloved shortstop. I would put Ramirez over him by like one slot. It's
Dang.
close. They play different positions, so but Mr. La Para should have been higher on this list.
I, yes, I am inclined to say that, but I'm happy that he's here. I'm happy that he's top 10.
No, he's
I'll
good. He
say that.
deserves to be there. You
I
could
agree.
make the argument for top six, top
Mhm.
five. You could.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
saying
I
you
agree.
would like it's a slam dunk, but you could make an argument. Look at
I'm
his
telling
WAR.
you,
Look at his
that's the
everything.
reason. That's the reason that they kept him out from 40-40. Telling you.
I remember you love these theories, bro. I
Yeah, I love
swear
these.
you love. I love these theories, yo. But some of them that you say make sense. I gotta give it to you.
Ah, man.
Yeah, you make it.
I
You're turning
like.
me
I
into a
love
very
to.
bad person thinking about all this stuff. Like, yeah, he's right.
Number 3, number 7 on their list, Jordan Alvarez.
Yusuf is gonna kill me. I think he's too high.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
Too
but
high.
yeah, he
Yeah, he's
is.
too high. He's too high. They say, oh,
Eh,
we're gonna give the Cubanos a bone. We're gonna throw like No, sorry,
I think
not
he's like
based on
number
that year.
12.
Yeah.
I think he's like number 12. You know what? Don't clip this, but number 12, number 13, I don't think he's number 7, but
He didn't have a great year last year. It wasn't a bad year, but it
no, no, no.
wasn't like, oh my God. Maybe because he didn't make the playoffs, maybe too, where he does
And
damage.
yeah, that is true.
He's got to make, él tiene que ser más bulla. Like he's too quiet. Like,
He is quiet. I agree with that. I agree with that. Number 2, number 6 on their list, Francisco Lindor.
yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Obviously, look, you could legitimately swap out him and Alvarez. I would have been good with it. You could have swapped out him and Ramirez. I would have been fine with that too.
Mhm.
Um, I don't have a problem with that. Based on the year that he had, I think based on impact, that's why Lindor is ahead of Ramirez. But I didn't make the list. I could have
Yeah,
put
no.
Ramirez higher and put Ramirez ahead of Lindor. Just because that bat, man, that bat just plays. Ramirez is just different. Um,
Yeah. No, I agree.
but yeah, but Lindor has had a great year, and I'm happy to see him ranked that high.
All right, number 1 on the list, of course, and number 4 on the overall list, Juan Soto. Nothing to argue
He,
on that one.
he deserves. He deserves
He
it. Yeah,
deserves
he
it.
had a
I
great
agree.
year. He deserves it. You're not gonna get any rebuttal from me.
Mhm.
He's there.
Of course not. You got him. God damn it.
No,
Okay, look.
listen. Yeah,
Let me break it down real quick. If you want to clip it, it's cool.
dale.
We have one Cuban on the list of 100. We got one Curaçaleño. We have two Mexicans. Mark Vientos. I don't know what you want to call them, but I call them
No, no, no,
Nicaraguense.
go ahead, go
You know?
ahead, go ahead. Just put him there. They
Yeah.
need him. His
I'm
mother's
sorry.
Nicaragua. I guess give him.
You
You
gotta
guys don't need
represent.
more. You don't need more players,
No,
please.
no, no. That's it.
Go
That's it.
ahead.
Yeah, that's it. Puerto Rico, they got three players. Venezuela got seven, and
Wow.
Dominican they got 14.
Huh.
So it kind of represents itself, to be honest.
It
Other than
doesn't.
Cuba, I
No,
think
no
Cuba.
shock.
Yeah, no shock on that one. No shock. With quantity comes quality. I'll tell you that.
Hey, listen. There's a lot of. I mean, we know this already. Dominican Republic has produced so much
Hmm.
talent. I mean, we've spoken about this ad nauseum, right?
Yeah,
And like you
yeah,
said, with quantity comes quality. And last year too, there were a lot of great seasons. There were a lot of great stories. I mean, you had Luis Hill, you had Emmanuel Clase,
Juan Soto,
Jose Ramirez. Juan Soto was a huge
Ketel
story.
Marte,
Ketel Marte was a huge breakout story. ¿Quién más?
Vladimir,
Um, Vladimir had a huge year.
Ronel
Um,
Blanco. Hey,
Ronald Blanco.
yeah. Oh, I gotta
I
be
mean, there
honest.
was so many
It was a
stories.
great year. It was a great year for the Dominican players, and I think that it'll continue. And
Yeah, yeah.
hopefully there's more Latino players coming up, and they can actually show. I'm actually excited. I know that we already passed that whole thing about Bregman, but I myself I would bring in Marcelo Myers already, the Mexican slash American player. You remember he's
Right,
like their
right.
top prospect.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
want to
No,
see
he's a
Marcelo up
yeah.
already up there. I want to see him
I'll tell
for
you
the Boston Red
something
Sox.
that's interesting. I know this is a little bit off topic. You
Go for it.
know, Mexico has a chance to really do damage in baseball. I think they're growing, bro. I
Yeah.
really do. I saw some of those prospects they got too.
Hmm.
They're coming, bro.
They're
They're
coming.
coming.
Yeah.
They're coming. I'm telling you, and they can turn into a potencia because they're a big country. They have
Hmm.
more resources than the rest of us. If they become a potencia, we're all dead
Yeah.
because they're massive. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of time, bro. They got a lot of. I think the next World Baseball Classic for them can be really interesting.
Yeah. I agree. I would love to see Marcelo, same thing, playing shortstop for them. I would love to see that.
He's
I
an
would love to
athlete,
see that.
and Mexico's always produced pitchers, but now we're seeing players, like even Mexican American players like Jaren Duran. I mean, when have you seen a Mexican that could
Right.
run in the outfield like that? When?
Oh,
You've
never.
never seen that.
Never.
Even though he's
No.
American, but still, it counts. He played for them in the World Baseball
Yeah.
Classic.
He represents too. He
Yeah,
says it all the time.
and if Alex Verdugo, I know this is, if Alex Verdugo would have hit, my God, I mean, because Alex Verdugo plays a wonderful outfield. I mean, he really
He
does.
does.
He
He
just
does.
is coño, que ese tipo, he used to hit. I don't know what happened to that guy. He
No,
used
I
to hit.
mean, to be honest, man, now that you bring it up, yeah, they have a really good team, and they made a lot of noise last
Big
World
time.
Baseball Classic.
Yeah, don't
And
remind me. But
damn, yeah,
they
like
they smoked on the Puerto Rico pack. But
yeah,
but but I'm saying, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah,
Puerto Rico beats DR, then loses to Mexico. This is becoming a pattern now, where it's
yeah.
like, the Serie de Caribe también. This is not becoming fun anymore. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Próximo, como te dije, el próximo standings, everything, all
yeah,
predictions.
we'll do it. We'll do it, bro. I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot to touch on. All right, Willie Baez, Bodega Sports. Take care, brother.
Take care, brother.
All right. So that was Willie Baez of Bodega Sports. And of course, make sure to give it a follow, share it with everybody, and the whole thing. And of course, as always, live your life as if you're in a 3-2 count. Until next time.